How are you this morning? It is the 8th of February, 2022. What's this as a Tuesday? We are on our 71st consecutive live stream. What would I say? I think it's funny. I had this really good entrance going and I had this really good flow, and then you saw me cough there and nasty phlegm, and now I'm just totally beside myself. So not much going on. Just trying to do new things with the channel. It's like, how do I put it? I've been doing a little experiment because I feel like something's wrong with the algorithm in my channel. And you say, well, that's common for new creators to think that way. And it's like, well, how would you know? How would you know if it's not? How would you know if it is? We don't know we have no access to the algorithm, so we don't know. So we're playing a game that we don't know the rules of, and we don't know how to get to where we want to go. Where do we want to go? We want to be monetized to start because that would help my business. Would it not? So what I did was I started another channel, Deerwood Realty Clips. And it's been, I think I started it maybe this week. Let me see. I started taking data on the 4th of February. Okay. That's when I started paying attention to the data. And with that, some interesting things have emerged to me so far. And I don't know how to, I don't know how to explain it, but let me just try to do my best here. So on my main channel, which is Deerwood Realty, I have 261 videos. Okay. And as of yesterday, I had 300 impressions per day. That's what I average. Okay. For 261 videos. To me, that's not right. Because I mean, 261 videos, you would think that you would get some more impressions than that. At least I think that way. And so I started the new channel, like I said. I started the new channel, maybe a week ago at the most. I've been collecting data since the 4th. I have 30 videos on the Clips channel, which is just my channel. It's just the live stream, and we cut the clips. And there's 30 videos on that channel. Yesterday, I had 240 impressions in a day. So 60 less. Now, my main channel, I'm normally doing a YouTube live stream and a podcast every day. And I'm getting 300 impressions. What's going on? What's going on? So, you know, if you watch this, would you please subscribe? Will you please share it? Will you please do something? Because I don't want my main channel to be worse than my Clips channel. It's so strange to me. It's so backwards. I mean, if I start getting like significantly more impressions on the Clips channel, I mean, that's weird, isn't it? I don't know, but I wanted to bring it to your attention because you guys are all smarter than me. I feel like I felt like I want to say it's throttled, but I just feel like there's something wrong with the way the algorithm is treating me on my main channel, because we're putting out pretty good content. Given our limitations, we're doing pretty well with the content. It's just that no one gets to see it. I mean, when you only have 300 impressions per day, the chances that someone's going to click on it, like it, subscribe, yeah. So I'm what am I committed to? I'm committed to seeing how long this can go. Whereas how long until the Clips channel overtakes the regular main channel, and then why? Like, what's that about? I don't understand. So anyway, that's what I've got for that. On our 71st consecutive live stream, 71 days in a row, I have managed to get a live stream out. Now, my podcast over the last 3 days has suffered. By suffered, I mean it hasn't existed. Why is that? Well, I tend to not do podcasts on the weekends just because I'm already doing a live stream and I'm trying to rest. But I just haven't really found anything. Like, I haven't found a muse. And when I was cutting the live stream clips, it's easier to cut the live stream clips than it is to write a whole new podcast out, as far as like just getting my notes and getting my research together. So I have to do better with that. I'm really strongly considering doing a live stream at night. And I don't know now if I should put that under a different channel. I mean, I'm clearly like, I'm somewhat concerned that that I'm being throttled. And I don't think, by the way, I don't think nefariously. I haven't done anything on the channel that wouldn't be in public discourse right now. There's nothing that I've said or anything that's that inflammatory that it would be an automatic reason to ban me or to put me down on the algorithm. I believe it has to do with at the beginning, I tried to get more viewers by advertising on channels, and the advertising went crazy. And we had like 2,000 people show up at the channel, and then we didn't turn off the advertising fast enough. And so we were getting like the worst people at the end of the day that were looking at the stuff. And it was bad. It was a bad effort. Should I be punished, 3 months later for the effort? I don't think so. I just know that it didn't go well. I think that's what we got that was the problem. But we'll find out with the Clips channel. And so, the thought of a live stream has at night has been pulling me. I sat in my recliner last night at 9, and I was like, I could probably do a live stream at 10. The weird thing to me is like, is that something that somebody would want? And then I was thinking about the topics that we could work on. And I was thinking something along the lines of like client satisfaction, client service, stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you think? I really get concerned because all of these things, they add an exponential amount of time. So if I were to do another live stream at night, that would be another hour of research during the day. And you say, John, it doesn't take an hour. Man, an hour goes by fast. It sure does. Like today, I feel like I'm a little bit ahead with my articles and stuff like that. If we go through them too fast, I've got to dig for more articles tomorrow, and it's like, ugh. I don't know, and then like, because it's going to be a different topic at night, what do we make of that? And I don't worry about streaming to no one, because I stream to no one every day right now. I mean, it's not, I get more surprised when people start watching. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? I haven't had the chance to learn how to enjoy the chat because I haven't had anybody to chat with. And it's weird. It's depressing. But, there's different ways to think about things. One, if something's not working, do you try something different? And then I would say, Yes. If something's not working, do you double down? I do. Is that the right move? I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah. It's a very strange time. Um, it's a very strange concept. But if I start seeing the clips getting like way more exposure than what I have on my main channel, then I'm gonna go with something. I don't want a dead channel. Somehow I want it to, rise from the ashes, but probably shouldn't start your stream by almost choking to death. You should probably avoid that. So that's what happened this morning. I think we should just get into stuff today. Okay, let's get into stuff. Let's look at who is beating me on live streaming right now. So, promote your channel, Sassy Siblings with Mom. 63 people watching that. The Mount Etna volcano, again, 55 people watching that. Monkey Homeless, 115 people are watching that. Facebook page monetization, 464 people are watching that. PewDiePie is on. That's 10,000 people are watching that. 15,000 people are watching Shibu Inu live event with Elon Musk. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's there. Good. Tamika's financial turnaround from 60K in student loan debt to 6 figures. That's 30 people watching that. That seems like something I could get. But I mean, for the most part, people are just kicking my behind. And it's kind of frustrating. 9 people watching live, giving any huge pets to fan Pet Simulator 10. Layla team, oh God, baby Dora, she is very scared what happened to her. 32 people watching that. I mean, there's a lot of monkey channels this morning. Tiny Baby Amy and Ben live stream, 185. Monkey Amy, 33 people watching that. It's like, John, you're being beaten by a monkey. No, I'm not just being beaten by one monkey. It's like a number of monkey channels are actually beating me. So, I mean, what do we make of that? I don't know. And there's all this spam and stuff. It's just, ugh. Okay. Well, that was that. That was that section. Let's look at, we had an article we talked about a while back, is Peleton, and they were doing poorly. And I wanted to go over another article today. It was in Google Trends. 50,000 searches on it, which isn't a lot, but the top searches got like 200,000 yesterday. So it wasn't a great day for news. I'm not going to cover the Olympics too much. I did something yesterday, and I don't care about this Olympics at all. So, and I would ask, when's the last time you cared about the Olympics? They foist it on us every 4 years. We had the Summer Olympics, I think it was in Utah or something, that Mitt Romney came in and saved because there was just so much financial backdealing that was terrible. Shenanigans. I suspect it hasn't changed at all. I suspect there's still plenty of shenanigans. And I think that the whole system is just disgusting. I want nothing to do with it. And so why should I watch, there was a little gymnast, what was her name? Mary Lou. I forgot her last. Mary Lou Retna? Is that it? After that, when you see like, oh, well, you can be a gymnast and then you can make all this money, hyping Nike and McDonald's. That's your way to go. Except you don't, instead of like a baseball player or a football player, you only get to do it once every 4 years. And hopefully, you do well, because no one's how do I say it? No one is sponsoring like the worst. No one's sponsoring that girl that gave away her U.S. citizenship to be a figure skater for China. Basically, no one's sponsoring that now. Hopefully, things work out for her in her life. Maybe she finds something else to do, and that would be good. So, let's talk about this Peleton article. It says, Apple, Amazon, or Nike. Peleton stock surges, but here's what experts say about a takeover. So the narrative is that the stock is surging this morning because Nike, Amazon, Apple, one of those groups is going to take it over. Now, if I'm Peleton and I'm the CEO, and this is just me, I'm not accusing him of anything, or her, I don't know who's the CEO, and my company is just getting hammered, okay, the best thing I can do is come up with a rumor to feed to the press that says some company that is considered a behemoth. So, I mean, Google is one of the more powerful companies in the world. Nike, Apple, Amazon, any of those things that you can be aligned with at this point, maybe it's good to sneak that out to the press to get your shares to bump, because you're probably getting paid for your shares to go up, not down. Your bonuses and stuff are probably set up that way. So let's take this with a grain of salt and see where it takes us. Shares of Peleton surged nearly 20% on Monday amid reports that the at-home fitness company, struggling with waning demand and slowing growth, is drawing interest from potential buyers, including Amazon, Nike, and Apple. Though some experts don't think a deal makes sense. And so in that line, what did we really learn? We don't trust the experts, because some experts think one way and some experts think a different way. There's no such thing as a consensus on experts. There should never be. When there is a consensus by experts, that's probably the time when you should really, really, really be skeptical. So they have this set up in Forbes. They have key facts. I tried to do the Barron's article. They locked me out. It says, Peleton stock jumped 16% after news that several companies were looking to buy the at-home fitness company. The Wall Street Journal reported Friday that Amazon was interested, while the Financial Times said a few hours later that Nike was also evaluating a bid. Now, to me, just sitting here, Google bought the Fitbit. Okay? That was where you can get some basis for why someone would be interested in this product, because what they're saying is this is maybe a digital product, a digital exercise. This is not. And then what are you buying, Peleton for? Well, you're buying it for they already can make the equipment and stuff like that. So they have some sort of expertise that you don't have, rather than them just starting their own fitness companies. It says, Wedbush analyst Dan Ives wrote in a note that he would be shocked if Apple is not aggressively involved in this potential deal process, arguing that it would make strategic sense for the tech giant to buy Peleton. And so he writes that he believes that an acquisition would be both offensive and defensive move for Apple, as it would catalyze the company's aggressive health and fitness initiative over the coming years, while preventing rivals Nike or Amazon from gaining an upper hand. So I think Nike already has, their own space, and I think that Amazon probably doesn't have its space very well yet. But the idea that Peleton would be the company to do that, very, 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 very interesting idea. But like, who's competing in the Peleton space besides Peleton? How many other, digital workout machine companies are there that did it to the level that Peleton did? It says other Wall Street experts are not so sure that any deal to buy Peleton makes sense. We don't see why companies like Nike, Amazon, Apple, or anyone else for that matter would want to own Peleton. With no actual deal talks having yet taken place, Baird analyst Jonathan Kump pointed out that in a note on Monday that CEO John Foley is highly unlikely to sell Peleton thanks to his management team's unwavering confidence to grow as a standalone company in the long term. I don't really think that matters. If his job is to create value for the shareholders, and someone comes across with a bid that's ridiculous, you almost have to sell. And then it says, with no actual deal talks having yet taken place. So where is this article? Where is this coming from? And what kind of information are we getting here? It says, like, how do you have an article about these companies being interested when none of them have talked to the company? So it's speculation. And I'm okay. I just understand this is how news used to be before the Rona and before, I don't know, Trump. Like, you used to get news that was like, it had elements of truth in it, but you as a reader were smart enough to say, okay, well, this may not be true. We didn't need Facebook to put something at the bottom of the screen. Like, we're not very smart. Like, we didn't need any of that stuff. There was no such thing as misinformation. That didn't happen because it was known that when you're writing a story, you don't know everything. You're writing what you do know or you presume to know. You don't make stuff up, which is another issue. And that's, that's all I'm going to say about that. It says there's no game more popular on Wall Street than ruminating over what companies the tech megacap should buy. Peloton's financial profile isn't the most compelling, and that any type of kind of big tech M&A deal could hit regulatory snags. That's right. I mean, if you're an embattled CEO, the parachute you have every time is leak it to the press that somebody's considering buying you out. That is the game. And make sure it's a company that's like big that could do it. You don't want some struggling company you don't want them to be named. You want somebody big that has cash on the balance sheet. It says, I don't know if this is any interest, but it says, a surprising fact, a handful of other technology and consumer brand giants are also circling for potential takeover, with entertainment giant Disney possibly looking to bid for Peleton, Ives said. So, before Monday's stock rally, which was created entirely by the buzz that they're being bought out, shares of Peleton were down 30% so far in the year, after falling over 70% in 2021. The at-home fitness company, which has around 3 million paid subscribers, recently fell below its IPO price of $29 per share from September 2019. Now, let's talk about that fun game. So there's the IPO, initial public offering. They have all these projections, all this paperwork and everything, and they come up with a valuation, and they came up with $29 per share. And so now they're below $29 per share, or they were. The IPO was in September of 2019. So what happened? All these experts were wrong. And that's why I have such a concern when people talk about experts. It's like, look, things change every day. We get new information. Um, so it says the stock plunged another 24% in one day on January 20th, wiping out billions in market value amid reports that the company would temporarily halt production of its bikes and treadmills, which the CEO fully later denied. Peleton CEO said the company is resetting production levels as it adapts to seasonal demand curves, while also acknowledging the need to slash costs. Activist investor Blackwell's Capital, however, responded just a few days later saying it has grave concerns about Peleton's performance and calling for the board of directors to fire Foley and sell the company. Which is what activist investors do. And I think we as a country and as a world could learn so much from the stock market in this sense. There's innuendo. It causes share prices to go up, causes share prices to go down. There's activist investors that intentionally cause things to happen. I mean, this is all normal. And we don't see that in other parts of our lives anymore. And I get very concerned about that. It says, what to watch for: Peleton will report earnings after the market closes on Tuesday. No one cares about the earnings. You know, it's like no one cares. The stock didn't raise because of Peleton's performance. Well, only negative performance and making it cheaper to buy. Now, you say, John, are you invested in Peleton anyway? No, I'm not. I'm not. I have no dog in the fight. I just thought it was interesting what we're seeing in the Wall Street media, which is totally normal and has been that way for centuries, or a century, versus what we see in other parts of the world where we don't get information fed to us in a way that is even close to reasonable at this point. So, yeah, Peleton. 2 stories on Peleton. Let's go to now. I'm not gonna kick it too hard, but we're gonna go to Anaheim. We're gonna look at houses for sale. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'm not impressed. $3.8 million for a 10,000 square foot house on a 2.1 acre lot. This is my initial response. $2 million on a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath with 3,365 square feet, where they don't even show the front of the house as the first picture. And $1.199, or let's just go $1.2 million for a 6-bedroom, 4-bath house for 3,300 square feet on a 6,000 square foot lot. I mean, these are not big houses on small lots, and they're very, very expensive. And that combination to me is not interesting. The brokers on the deals on the top 3: First Team Real Estate, Dalton Real Estate, and HPT Real Estate. Even further, if you go down, the next ones are Open Door Brokerage, Aguiar Realty, Remax Champions, and New Century Realtors. So no one has this, top space in Anaheim. It's a 5-car garage, been on the market for 87 days. 7 beds, 6.5 bath, 10,000 square feet on a 2-acre lot. Okay. Ugh. I don't know. It's just too much. Property history. So it was listed 11/12/2021. The listing was removed in January, and it was relisted on January 22nd. Now, what I think is interesting is all offers will be reviewed Monday, February 7th at 4. So what's different? Nothing. They just relisted the property and hope that the buyers that passed on the first one will get caught up in this new round. They haven't changed the price. So there's the walk-in. Is that the house? I mean, that's a pretty sweet pond, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if it's a pool. There's your 5-car garage. Okay, so there's the pool, and then there's something else. I mean, if you buy the house, you have to like the pool, right? Or the lake. We're 18 pictures in and we finally made it to the house. Wow. Wow. $3.8 million for this. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Well, I've got to stop. This is no. $1.9 million. Let's just say 2. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3,365 square feet on a half-acre lot. 11 days on the market, built in 1976, 3-car garage. What's the history of the property? Listed, sold in 2013, listed for rent in 2019, and rented, I suspect, and now listed in 2022. So this is the not front of the house. This is the second picture in the listing. This is the third picture. Oh, we're inside. Is that the front of the house? There's the front. There's another picture of the kitchen. I mean, thank you for this picture. So helpful. I mean, okay. Okay. Let's go to this house. 6 bedroom, 4 bath, 3,300 square feet, built in 2006, 2-car garage. Property history. It's been listed since 2020. That's not good. What does it say for the description? Gorgeous home. Expressively contemporary new design with completely rebuilt in 20. God, this expressively contemporary new design with completely rebuilt in 2006. The 2-level family home located in a highly desirable neighborhood of Anaheim features 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a large 3,308 square feet living. Walking distance to nearby Disneyland, freeways, shops, and restaurants. Must see. I mean, I don't want to rip on listings, okay? That's not really my goal. My goal is to see what's out there and be inspired. This is not inspiring to me. Wow. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay, I'm done. I was worried that Anaheim was going to give that to me. Oh, and I didn't even switch it over. So now I've wasted like 10 minutes of my stream. I'm going to transition over now so you can see it. Look, there it is. It's terrible. It's like these are the three houses. There's the $3.8 million one with the lake. Here's the one that's got, I mean, that's the second picture. That should tell you everything. And then this one is just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't switch it over. I may not have even switched over for the Peleton, which, you know, so that's great. I'll have to go back and look, but you know, hey, would have been nice to have someone tell me that in the chat. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, let's keep going. Let's look at some articles. So, yeah. Boy, that's really disappointing. Okay, here we go. This was something I thought was interesting. I just want to read through it with you, and hopefully you can see it. Yes, you can see it now. Okay. U.S. home seller profits soar again in 2021 as prices shoot to new records. So when you look here, like this is negative equity, okay? These are people that were losing money, and I believe that the scale is hard to see, but I think they're at like $20,000, $40,000, and $60,000. Okay. So in theory, if you sold in 2021, you lost $60,000. In theory, so that's my understanding. Profits on typical sales nationwide rise from 34 to 45%. National median home price jumped 17% to 301,000. Home buyers staying in their homes before selling for the shortest period in 10 years. Adam, the curator of the nation's premier property database, today released its year-end 2021 U.S. home sales report, which shows that home sellers nationwide realized a profit of $94,092 on the typical sale in 2021, up 45% from $64,931 in 2020 and up, and 71% from the $55,000 2 years ago. Now, how in the world you would calculate that on every single house in the United States that sold is beyond me. Now, if you want to say, well, we took the purchase price and we took the sale price and that's the profit. Yeah. But what if somebody put in a new kitchen? What if somebody put in new bathrooms? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Profits rose in more than 90% of housing markets with enough data to analyze, and the latest figure, based on median purchase and resale prices, marked the highest level in the United States since at least 2008. Now, I don't want anyone, I don't want you to think that I'm kicking the data. I mean, they've got some sort of relevance, okay? But like just one, is this inflation adjusted? And I'm not, it's not a criticism. It's just, is it inflation adjusted? Because if it is, okay. But if it's not, you know, like when we bought this house in like 2007, you know, that's going to be a different, I mean, money was a little different then. Interest rates were a little different then. So it's just really, the $94,092 profit on the median median priced home sale in 2021 represented a 45.3% return on investment compared to the original purchase price, up from 33.6% last year and 30.6% in 2019. The largest profit margin also stood out as the largest since at least 2008. It says both raw profits and ROI have improved nationwide for 10 straight years. Moreover, last year's gain in ROI, up nearly 12 percentage points, was the biggest annual increase since 2013. Profits shot up as the national median home price rose 16.9% in 2021 to $301,000, another annual record. So I just like, let me just point out something. Okay, let's just take a $400,000 house. Let me do the commission on a $400,000 house. And this is like, I'm not saying this is the commission that I would see posted. We don't ever know what the commissions are. Oh, shoot. Let me do it. I was never great at math in school. I can do it, but doing it on a live stream is a little bit dicey for me. So on a $400,000 house, let's figure $20,000 in commission. Okay. So say you bought a house for $380,000. Okay. And then you had to buy, and then you sold your house for $400,000. You're not even clearing the commission, but you've got a $22,000 profit, or I'm sorry, you've got a $20,000 profit, which is why I have a little trouble with this logic. I'm not saying it's not true. I mean, they may have some sort of wizardly numbers that are better than mine, but I'm just saying it just seems like. And to me also, where are you going to go with this data? Next year's down. You know, does that mean that the market's not good for sellers? I don't know. It's a very, that's why I wanted to bring this article to you. I found it to be fascinating. Both raw profits and ROI have improved nationwide for 10 straight years. Moreover, last year's gain in ROI up nearly 12 percentage point. That's return on investment. Up nearly 12 percentage point was the biggest annual increase since 2013. Profits shot up as the national median home price rose 16.9% in 2021 to $301,000, another annual record. And so that national median home price, they're at 300,000. I've seen 400,000. So now we don't know who's got the right data. The combination of rising prices and profits came during a year when a decade-long boom in the national housing market steamed ahead, both because of and in spite of the coronavirus pandemic that caused widespread economic damage in 2021 and continued to threaten a recovery that began to take hold in 2021. I don't know that you can say that the coronavirus pandemic caused widespread economic damage in 2021 if people are out there buying up houses and selling them at a profit of 16% in just 1 year. This argument about economic damage for whom? Restaurants that the government shut down, basically? I mean, who lost their job? Okay. And if you lost your job, look, I'm not happy for you. I feel bad. But this idea that the economic damage was so intense, and then you see home prices that continue to just go astronomically high. People finding cash under their pillows at night to buy houses. Rates for, how do I put it? What's the word? Houses that are going into receivership, those numbers not high. And then let's go from that. You say, well, John, that just shows that the levers pulled by the presidents worked out. Everything was great. Well, then don't call it economic damage. See, that's what I'm saying. It's very strange. There are many people that worked from home and never missed a paycheck. In fact, got money from the government while they were sitting at home, earning their current paycheck. It's very, very strange. We're all a part of it, okay, because we're all alive. But I just think that this idea that, you say that there was all this economic damage, yet the housing market is on fire. There's something wrong about that. A surge of buyers financially unscathed by the pandemic continuing flooding the market throughout 2021. They were driven heavily by a combination of historically low interest rates and a desire by many households to take congested, virus-prone areas for the perceived safety and wider spaces of a single family home. As they chased a tight supply of homes for sale, prices spikes, and so did seller profits. You know, I don't disagree with that. God, this article just goes on and on and on. I didn't know that. It says a few signs that price. We know that's. I'm not going to read that. Households that escaped job losses for the pandemic dove into the market in large part as a response to the crisis, and rising demand led the housing boom onward. No doubt there are warning signs and the surge could slow down this year, but 2021 will go down as one of the greatest years for sellers and one of the toughest for buyers. So, homeownership tenure dips to a nearly 10-year low. So this is, I thought, interesting. Homeowners in the U.S. who sold in the fourth quarter of 2021 had owned their homes an average of 6.14 years, down from 6.34 years in the previous quarter and from 8.03 years in the fourth quarter of 2020. The latest figure represents the shortest average home seller tenure since the first quarter of 2012. I mean, if something happens, okay, there should be some data for it, right? And so if people are making a historic migration, there should probably be some data to show that. And down 6.14 years from 6.34 years, that's not that interesting in a quarter. And from 8.03 years in the fourth quarter of 2020. People are moving more. I don't know. Are they taking advantage of an opportunity? It's just a fascinating thing to me. It says cash sales hit a 6-year high in 2021. Nationwide, all cash purchases accounted for 30%, or one of every 3 single-family house and condo sales in 2021. So, no, I would like to know the buyers with the all cash sales. Are you going to tell me that 60% of the United States purchased a home with straight cash? Single family home buyers? What I'm getting at is, are we sure that the institutional investors didn't lead that? Like when Zillow buys a house, they buy it in cash. Okay. When they did, before they blew up with their iBuying program, when Open Door buys a house, they buy it with cash. So this idea, I mean, this should be investigated a little further. Perhaps this is the company to do it. I don't know. I did want to write something down though. I will. I have so much silliness here. Lender-owned foreclosures purchases in the U.S. at the lowest level in 16 years. So everyone tells me like, hey, let's go buy a foreclosure. We're going to make all this money. Okay, well, what happens when there are no foreclosures to buy? The price of the foreclosures go up for those remaining properties. So, and I don't wish anyone to have foreclosures. I just think that the idea that you're going to go and find a foreclosure in this market and it's going to work out, maybe not likely. Maybe not likely. So let's continue. Institutional investing at an 8-year high. Institutional investors accounted for 7%, 6.9, or 1 for every 14 single-family home and condo sales in 2021, the highest level since 2013. The latest figure was up 2.7%, and I don't believe those numbers. Don't I mean, I just don't believe the numbers because, I mean, maybe on a national basis, but it says among the 190 statistical areas with populations at least 200 sufficient investor sales data, those with the highest levels of institutional investor transactions were Atlanta, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Memphis, and Phoenix. But we know that Zillow and Open Door and everybody were just pounding the Phoenix market. Okay? We know this. It says FHA sales at the lowest level in 14 years. Nationwide, buyers using the FHA loans account for 8.4%, or 1 out of every 12 single-family homes and condo purchases in 2021. That's down from 11.9% in 2020 and from 12% in 2019, the lowest point in 2007. I don't have a problem with the FHA loan. Some people do. Some people do. But money's money to me. If you can bring a loan for FHA, I'm totally good with it. I have one buyer right now that's FHA, and we're going FHA. And if people choose not to go with him, that's fine. As a buyer, we'll just continue to look. It makes the most sense for him financially. Okay, so the report methodology. It says the Adam U.S. Home Sales Report provides percentages of REO sales and all sales that are sold to investors, institutional investors, and cash buyers at state and metropolitan statistical area. Data is also available at the county and zip code level upon request. The data is derived from recorded sales deeds, foreclosure filings, and loan data. Statistics for previous quarters are revised when each new report is issued as more deed data becomes available. So here it goes to the definitions, and I just wanted to kind of go over it. All cash purchase equals a sale where no loan is recorded at the time of sale and where Adam has coverage of loan data. So what I'm saying is that, when Zillow and Open Door and them buy houses, they're doing all cash purchases. So homeownership tenure for a given market and given quarter, the average time between the most recent sale date and the previous sale date expressed in years. And that shouldn't be too difficult to find. I always look up the tax records of every home that I go show because I want to see how long the person's owned it. The shorter that the person's owned it, to me, is an indication that's either a fix and flip or there's something about the neighborhood or there's something about this person's lifestyle that doesn't gel with that neighborhood. And maybe there's a reason to investigate further. Home seller price gains, the difference between the median sales price of a home in a given market in a given quarter and the median sales price of the previous sale of those same homes expressed in both dollar amount and percentage of the previous median sale price. See, that's really, really, really a lot. I mean, there's a lot of numbers there. Institutional investor purchases residential property sales to non-lending entities that purchased at least 10 properties in a calendar year. It's very hard to track that. Very hard. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting article. I think it's pretty interesting. Okay. So, yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Does it matter that I'm going to take this off. Well, let's go to one other article, but all right, I changed the thing. So let's go here. Get rid of that. So I'm just wrapping up the last article. To me, it's everything in that data is dependent on how you how your situation is running. So, I mean, if you bought and sold a house and you feel like you really profited, then that article speaks to you. If you aren't selling, okay, and you just did a kitchen remodel, you don't feel like you got a profit right now because you didn't sell. So to me, you get into this dilemma of, should you sell your home because you can get the most money now? Okay. And then, yes, if you didn't have to buy. And it becomes, well, if you had to buy, then what's the deal? And the deal is you're going to pay a lot because people that are selling are not selling for cheap. So let's look at this article. I thought it was interesting. It's from Realtor.com. It says, home office, a hot mess. Here are 5 decor fixes to make before selling. So the idea of a home office isn't new. I think we all had maybe one room we used for a home office. The difference in my home, and I think many other places, is when my wife came home from the office to work from home, we didn't have a space established for her because we already had, I had my home office and she never worked from home, so we didn't have that issue. So it's not a complaint or anything like that, but I think so many people were stuck in that situation where it was no longer just one home office. It was multiple. Myself, I get distracted easily by noise. I get distracted easily by people talking. And so I tend to need it to be very, very quiet where I work. I could never work in the same place with my wife. It would just be a nightmare because she's on the phone. And it's just doesn't work. So I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at some of this. And so it says, no room got a tougher workout the past year than the home office. And because of all the wear and tear, the space is probably ready for a little TLC. So one of the things you can do, it says, is update the chairs. Now, this is before you list a home. Okay? To that end, add a stately potted tree near your workspace. And if you can position your seating by a window, you'll have a view that may motivate you to greatness. It says, sure, you'll have a desk and some storage space in your home office, but a small nook for deep reading or taking an extended Zoom call is also a good update here. Swap out the bookcase. Filing cabinets are somewhat passe, but if you love yours, it's fine to keep. As for book storage, it may be an afterthought in your home office, but having some is a nice way to style the space as well as warm up the room. It would not have occurred to me to add a book case. I have a file cabinet and I like it. Can't get to it right now, but I like it. It says, use an antique case rather than a commercial steel or plastic option, and then repurpose a cabinet from another room here, arrange in neat stacks in the perimeter that are interspersed with tables or a lamp floor. So what they're doing is trying to make a softer space for you. What's this one? Amp up the color. Potential buyers want to ooh and ah when they enter a space, and they'll envision themselves cooking in your fabulous kitchen or relaxing in that cozy book nook. Do the same with color in your home office. Who says bright patterns and colors and patterns are definitely must here. Again, when we're listing a home for sale, that's different than listing it than living in it. And so, yeah, maybe do add colors when you're selling it, but it says improve your lighting, add warmth with texture. Other rooms are often styled with soft throws casually draped about, but the home office tends to be left out in the cold. Fight this sterile vibe by bringing in texture, whether the materials like baskets or carpeting via faux fur. I don't know. I think a stylish home office for a listing is a positive, because what you're going to do is you're going to take an office. The office could be very plain and boring when you're working in there, and it looks like it's a wonderful, inviting space. Anytime you can make inviting spaces in your home before you list it, so that the photos make sense, do it. I agree with this. I also think that in this day and age, to show off your home office, to make it a room that, you know, is to make the room stand out. Let me try and put this in a way to make sense. It used to be a 3-bedroom home. Okay, you want to see 3 beds, right? You want to see 3 rooms with beds in it because that's a 3-bedroom home. Now, if it's a 3-bedroom home and one of them is being used as an office, then that office space should be treated well. That is, don't just throw a desk in there. You know, don't just say we use this office, you know, we use this room as an office. Make it a destination. Like, oh, look, this house has a great, you know, bedroom and it has a wonderful office space. It doesn't matter that all your furniture is going to be gone before someone moves in anyway. What you're trying to do is create an appearance and a use for the room. It's very difficult for people to understand what they're going to put in your home when they buy it. They try to put themselves in your space. And so when you delineate what the spaces are before them, so they don't have to think about it, they're like, oh, okay, this is where we're going to put our office. All right, I get it. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. I would say on a level for my live stream, this may have been the worst one in a month. I don't know if I'm tired. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the articles just weren't where it is. Here's some of the things that I know went wrong. Number 1, when I went to show you the houses, I didn't pull up the screen. Number 2, I started the stream poorly when I hawked a loogie. When I coughed up that phlegm, that was gross. So, you know, I'll do better. I'm really sorry that it turned out this bad. I'm going to leave it up because I think it's important to put your failures up with your successes. I don't know why. Just think it is. So with that, I'm going to head out.